Okay, I'm about to. Okay, so what I'm doing is, so I have here. I don't know, you guys can see it right here. So this is the official ballot for the city general election, city of Minneapolis. This is a sample ballot, and what I love about, I'm sure this probably exists in other states too, but what I love to do is go to like just the Secretary of State's website. It's super easy to find, and just go to like where's my ballot, and then you like put in your address, and it just like you can literally find your sample ballot and who's on it. And I love to do this because like, bitch, it's overstimulating in the it's overstimulating when I be in the voting booth. Trying to like figure out who's doing what and who I'm voting for. And so and so if I'm not voting ahead of time, if I'm not voting like absentee or something, most of the time I vote in person. I think I've only maybe voted absentee like once. I do this because it's just easy. So anyway, I've printed this out because what I want to do is like, so the election ends on what, it's on November 4th. I mean, it is happening currently now. Like you can literally go vote now, but I have not yet voted. And so what I want to do is like figure out how I'm voting. And in order to do that, I need to like go through the list of candidates on this ballot and figure out who I'm gonna vote for. So I'm gonna start in the order I can see it. So there's mayor, city council member. I live in Ward 11 in Minneapolis, so depending on like where you live in Minneapolis, your ward is going to look different. The board of estimation and taxation, the park and recreation commissioner at large, and then the park and recreation commissioner District 5. Again, that's probably just based on like where I live, that I'm in District 5. So what I'm going to do is go through. I'm gonna go in chronological order, and I have most opinions about mayor and least opinions about the bottom, but I'm hoping to gather all my opinions, if not most of them all today. And so you're gonna watch me like go through that process and like talk about these candidates and what I think about them. Okay, so let me get started. So I'm gonna first talk about mayor. So I made a TikTok video about this like last week, or no, it was maybe the week before last, about who I was voting for mayor and what my like rank choice was. So like in Minneapolis, we have ranked choice voting. So you choose three candidates, right? You pick your first choice, your second choice, your third choice, and then like when they are tallying the votes, right, like they get redistributed. Bitch, don't ask me. This is a question for Google about the specifics of ranked choice voting. That's not what this is about. So my first choice at the time, and still true, Omar Fateh. Hey girl, how you doing? I'll talk more about him in a minute. Second choice is Jazz Hampton. Third choice is Dwayne Davis. So I talked, and so again, I would encourage you to like go like watch that video that I made a couple weeks ago. So Omar Fateh is my first choice. I think that he is like he's clearly the front runner. Like I think he has the best chance at actually unseating Jacob Fry, who I'm not ranking. We're not ranking Jacob Fry. We're not ranking him. Right? We're not. Someone asked, they are all black. They are all black. So, will Minneapolis have a new black mayor? Will we do it? I ain't got no, I don't think this is wood, but let me pretend I'm knocking on wood. We're hoping so. So Omar Fateh first. So again, Omar's a democratic socialist. I think he has like, I said it in the video that I made. Also, I would love someone like I want to make sure this mic continues to work. So let me know if like my audio is crisp with this mic. I would love to know that. Thank you. Omar is a democratic socialist. He clearly has like the most like progressive and visionary policies to tackle the challenges that are facing Minneapolis, and in particular, I think that like I think that the problem for me that like means and matters the most, right, is the problem we have with like um um unhoused folks in the city. And that is not me saying that I think that unhoused folks are a problem. The opposite. I think that the problem is the way that Jacob Fry and his administration chooses to handle or chooses to like approach and interact with our unhoused neighbors, right? Because like what Fry does is just break up encampments from place to place to place, right? And doesn't do any work. Thank you. I'm getting a thumbs up on the audio. Thank you. And doesn't, I think, do the work of actually addressing the systemic issues that push people to the margins that leave people unhoused, right? Someone asked for a recap. I'm talking about the Minneapolis mayoral election. I have my sample ballot in front of me, and I'm gonna be like going through it tonight. Um, yeah, our we have a sizable unhoused population here in the Twin Cities, and like if you don't know anything about Minnesota, I bet you know it's cold. I bet you that you know it's cold, and it's really starting to get cold now. Like it was like in the mid 40s, right? Like today, like right, and it be like -20 outside. Like it be negative, like it be cold, like not just like ooh a little bit of no cold, right? And like I think that we like do not have enough beds in the city, right? Which is not a unique problem to Minnesota. Like, right, that's not a unique problem to the Twin Cities. We don't have enough shelter beds in the city, and also there are a ton of reasons, valid reasons, why people wouldn't want to go into shelters, right? And I think that like what we need is like housing first solutions that seek to place people in homes, right? Like in homes and apartments, right? And like whenever you see new construction being built in this city, um 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 it is like the same sort of like high rises that are like meant for high earners, right? Like um and that like shouldn't be the case, right? And I'm like, and so someone asked like, we hear a lot about the problem, what's the solution? I think that one, the solution needs to be like dictated by unhoused people themselves, right? Of which I am not. So like I'm gonna say what I think solutions are, but like I think that like who should be the primary voice, who leads those conversations is like actual like unhoused community and housing advocates, right? Um, I think that like so I think that we need like either new construction, right? That is not just built for people who can pay $3,000 a month, right? We need like right we need to radically reimagine what downtown is, right? I think that like cities are still in this place where they're like, okay, well if we can just get downtown back to what it was pre-COVID, we'll revitalize downtown, right? Like, and it's like we live in the 21st century, like let's figure out something different, right? And it's like we have so much downtown space that is being either totally unused or underutilized, right? And it's like, why can't that be housing, right? Like why is our first concern not always housing? Our first concern should never be business. It should always be housing and people, right? And like that isn't to say, and like I say that, and I think that the argument that people make is like, well, we need business, right? It's like we need business, and it's like there are plenty of businesses in Minnesota. Best Buy is quartered. Best Buy, Target, 3M, Medtronic, like just so many of them. Most of them not actually in Minneapolis proper, like not actually in Minneapolis proper, right? They're like in suburbs. Like U.S. Bank is also here, and they're in like Hopkins, right? Like most of them are not actually like they may have like outposts or offices or whatever, like in downtown Minneapolis, but they're not actually like based there, right? And so it's like, why is that space being reserved for them? Like that should be reserved for people. And so I think that like, and so again, I think that like Omar Fateh has like a vision of housing that is built, or like I think he has a vision about addressing the crisis that are facing our unhoused neighbors, and I think he has a vision that's actually rooted in like housing and like putting people in homes and making sure that people are taken care of, right? I also think that, I mean, put it to I would love for the Minneapolis Police Department to not exist. I would love for all police departments to not exist. Brian O'Hara should be out of a job. Brian O'Hara should never be allowed to wear those tight ass shirts again, ever. Like, that whatever. And I think that like, right, and I like none of these candidates are running on like the abolition of the police, right? Like they're not, right? So So then for me the question is like, okay, who is running on a vision of policing that if it's not abolition, it's reducing, not reducing, it is radically shifting what we understand public safety, which like I don't even like the term public safety because like public safety for whom, right? Like I don't see that. I was driving, was that yesterday? Yesterday I was going to the co-op and a cop car was in front of me, and then they and then they slowed down, pulled off to the side, and let me pass them. And I thought that they were gonna like stop me, even though I wasn't like I wasn't like speeding or anything, but I saw it and I was afraid, right? Like I was like, oh, I was like, shit, what's this about to be, right? Like, so my vision of public safety, so like public safety for whom, right? And like I think that Omar's policies, and again, I have this policy page pulled up on my computer in front of me, right? Like he writes that his vision for policing in Minneapolis is about investing in upstream solutions to reduce crime that results from poverty and lacking access to mental health care, housing, and public spaces. And how I take that and what I understand that to mean, and what I actually get to talk. I'm actually talking with Omar Fateh, doing like a short interview with him this weekend, which I'm really excited about. Like what I want to ask him about is like I have an understanding of what this means, but I want to know how he understands this is what he means, right? Because I think that, like, as I understand this, it's about not putting money toward policing, right? Because we don't need more money for police, right? That's not what we need. We need more money going toward people getting the help and the safety that they need in order so that they don't come in contact with police, right? Because like I think like people talk about this problem of crime as if it's divorced from the social ills that we face in the rest of society, right? Like, and the reason that people come in contact with the criminal legal system is not because they are bad or dangerous or whatever, right? It's because they don't have access to the things that they need in order to reduce their contact with the criminal legal system, right? Does that make sense? For example, to tie it back to what I was just talking about, the problem of homelessness. We criminalize homelessness, and homelessness is just about people not having enough money and resources to have a safe place to live. Right? Like we put people in jail because they don't have money to have a safe place to live, right? Like it's like, yeah, no, that right. So like I think that Omar Fateh actually has a vision of policing that is rooted in like um that is rooted in racial justice. He doesn't use that term, but like that is what I intuit here. Um it is rooted in like addressing the systemic impacts of like of poverty, of racism, of sexism, and particularly with like in Minnesota, like in the Cedar, like in the like along Cedar, we have a native population. White Earth is not a reservation. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me. But a reservation, but it's like a housing cooperative for someone saying Ojibwe folks. I'm not sure like which it is like a housing cooperative or collective for like native folks in the city, and so there is a huge homelessness problem over in that area, right? And like that is directly connected to the theft. Yes, I'm think they. Oh, Malcolm, hey, shout out to Malcolm. Yes, he's talking about. I'm sorry, he's talking about Little Earth off Cedar. That's I said White Earth. He's talking about Little Earth. Thank you. Um, um, the fuck was I saying? There's a huge unhoused population over there, and because I don't live too far away from that area, and as I've been driving along Hiawatha, there is an encampment that's starting up over there, right? Because people ain't got nowhere to go, right? And they want to be close to their community, and I know that what Fry's gonna do is just break up that community like he's been doing with that other. Does that one there I know there was an encampment of native folks that had been going for probably like 2 years at this point. I think still going, right, like, but he's just going to continue doing this work of displacing these folks, right? So Omar Fateh is one. That was a really long way to saying Omar Fateh one. Okay, number two is Jazz Hampton. I know I'm talking to Jazz Hampton on what the fuck on the 29th, which is maybe next Tuesday or Wednesday. He and I are going to talk on live, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited to talk to him. So, and someone asked if, like, scrolling up in the chat, someone asked if Omar Fateh was first uh leading in the polls. That's hard to say because I haven't seen any reliable polling that I am comfortable um trusting, right? The only polling I've seen recently has been from Jazz Hampton's campaign, and like you have to take someone's internal campaign polling with a gigantic grain of salt. Like I will never, right? Like I saw another polling from a firm with which I was not familiar, and it was from like August, and it had like 830 responses, so like decent, but like I've seen very little reliable polling, so I cannot say if Omar is first. I can say that he feels first in vibes, if that matters. He feels first in vibes. Um, um, but I'm ranking Jazz second, and so I really want to talk to Jazz. I'm really excited for that conversation with Jazz because I feel like he has a lot of good ideas, but and I said this in the video I made like a couple weeks ago, like no specific. I'm like, what do you mean specifically? And I'll give you an example about what I mean. So literally just like an hour ago, I was on Instagram and he posted a video that I'm not gonna lie was very corny. It was very corny, and I was like, you know what? He's been doing these like videos where he's talking. It was corny as fuck, but um, he was like, I grew up just a couple miles from here. Exactly. Oh my god. Yes, that's exactly what he said. It was so fucking corny. It was the video where like I think someone like there was like an unhoused person and he like went there. I don't know. It was weird and kind of corny. And he was like picking up trash and he was like, "This is not time for jokes." And I was like, "All right, brother, you mean it, and that's cool." But like even in that video, he was just like, "I want to make." He was talking about like he wants to improve the like homelessness response team. He's like, there's only like 4 people on the team. We want to, and he was like, I have more people to live in my house. Like, we want to beef up that team. And it just was like, okay, but it wasn't about housing, right? Like, it was about like, okay, here's how we're gonna maybe improve some of the things that already exist today. But it wasn't like a radical vision for how you solve the problem of homelessness, right? It wasn't like a specific. I've not seen Jazz articulate a specific policy platform for how he want for the problems that he sees and what he wants to do. And someone said beef it up to then do what? And I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm gonna sort of intuit. Like it's like he could have made that video. That's and I would encourage you to like go to like he be on. I think I saw it on TikTok, but he's also like he be posted on Instagram too. So like one of those platforms. I encourage you to go watch it because I'm doing a very poor job explaining it. But like I would want him to say something like, "Yeah, like we criminalize homeless people, or like we make the lives of unhoused folks like so much harder. And here are the specific ways that I want to ensure that people get into safe, affordable housing, right? That treats them with dignity and respect, right? But like instead, and I think that's sort of the key difference for me with like Omar and Jazz and Dwayne. It feels like what Jazz and Dwayne want to do is take what already exists and tinker with it around the edges to like make it marginally better. And whereas it feels like Omar wants to say, okay, let's make some of the things we can make some of the things we're doing better, but how do we actually like create something totally new and radical and better and different? And I think that's the key point for me. And I think this is actually like I think like I was on live earlier and I was talking about like the Democratic Party and about how like girl, the fucking Democrats, but it's like if you want to make like if you want to win and if you want to make the world better, you can't just like our world is, I mean, frankly, I think like too fucked up to tinker with around the edges. You have to articulate a specific vision for what you want the thing to be, right? And I think that like Jazz and Dwayne are sort of talking in in the sort of same broad platitudes that we see from the Democratic Party, whereas like Omar, I think you know, in similar to someone like Zoran Mamdani, right, is like, no, like here's specifically what I want to do. You have a problem. The buses are unaffordable. Here's how I'm going to make this thing affordable for you, right? And I think that's sort of the key difference for me with so which is why I'm ranking Jazz second and Dwayne third. And Dwayne third, like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really have feelings about Dwayne because I don't because and I said this in the video I made. I'm like, I don't have feelings about Dwayne running for mayor because I don't know if Dwayne knows he's running for mayor. Like, I don't see this man. Like, I've seen him. Like, I know he's been like the African American Leadership Forum did a forum last week, and I was out of town, so I wasn't able to go, and I was super bummed about that. And he was there. He did that interview with that 1 minute tours guy who, like, I don't think I fucking like that dude. He's been on some real white shit recently, and I don't think I fucking like that dude. But whatever. Um, and so yeah, I don't know anything about Dwayne's policies because Dwayne has not um I don't think has been doing a good job at like articulating what his policies are. Like maybe he's doing that at the candidate forums. I haven't been able to make one yet, so like maybe he's doing a good job there. But if you go to his website right now, hold on. It's Dwayne from Minneapolis.com. You go to priorities. Okay, first of all, okay, it was broke for a second. Like, so if I go to his housing policy, it's just a paragraph. You know, it says we deserve a mayor who will be honest with us about housing and homelessness crisis, about the housing and homelessness crisis we're facing. We deserve a city government that will pursue housing policies that benefit everyone. We need a multifaceted approach to housing and homelessness. We need to build more units. We need to encourage public and nonprofit housing production. As a mayor, I will invest in city dollars and programs to develop nonprofit affordable housing. I'll work with the city council to invest more in our current tools and explore program related like, yeah, it's just like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? And I think that like, someone said they see Dwayne everywhere. Okay, I'm having a total opposite experience. I literally never see this man. I swear to God, I never see this man. Um, um, yeah. So again, like I said, Omar, Jazz, Dwayne. I'm not ranking Fry. Jacob Fry. If Jacob Fry has no haters, I'm dead. I'm in the ground. I'm buried. I'm gone. I'm out of this world because that man. I hate mediocre white men, and so that's actually just the place to start. I don't like mediocre white men um, I don't like it, and he's one of those people who pretends to be about something but really ain't about shit, and um is not about shit, is not about like praying for Jacob's downfall. Oh my god. Oh my god. Um I don't like that man. I don't like that man. He lies about everything. I will never the during the uprising, when that group of people, when he was like, I can't remember, maybe he was down on like Lake Street. I can't remember where he was, but people asked him if he would have supported the abolition of the Minneapolis Police Department. He said no, and everyone said, "Go home, Jacob." Oh my God, I could have. Wow, I could have ascended to the heaven right there. He lies about everything. He sucks. I'm not ranking Jacob Fry. I didn't rank him last time. I'm not ranking him this time. No. Okay. So now I'm going to talk about city council member Ward 11. Oh, okay. Okay. So my options are Jameson Whiting, Jim Meyer, Miriam DeMello. So first, Jim Meyer is. I went to his website. That man was fucking crazy. That man's fucking crazy. No, I'm not voting for him. Miriam DeMello, girl, I don't even know who you are. Who are you, girl? No. Um, um, so Jameson is going to be our city council member. What I'm struggling with is if I'm actually going to vote for Jameson. And I say that I know Jameson. I don't know him. I don't know him. He and I have met a couple of times. And he's a super nice dude. He's a super nice dude. Very nice man. Beautiful gowns. I think he is going to end up being another Frey aligned member of the council who is ultimately going to be a barrier for progress. I think he is going to like, and I say that because like, so he is currently a lawyer with um the Hennepin County Attorney's office, either Hennepin County Attorney's office or the City of Minneapolis Attorney's office. I can't remember which one, but like he's an attorney, and so he is like, and I have his website pulled up here. So like he is really interested in like implementing the consent decree um, that the Justice Department had imposed um, on Minneapolis, but obviously like the Trump administration backed off of. And if you read and like I actually got to ask him this question. Like he like we'd met before, and then he was actually door knocking, and then he actually like he just happened to knock on my door, and then we actually had a conversation like a couple months ago. So, and I actually got to ask him about this, and he is really interested in like beefing up the behavioral crisis response unit that Minneapolis has, which can like respond to emergency calls that are for like people who are like having mental health crisis. So he wants to like improve that, like, right, etc. And like that's all well and good, but I think that like there's been two moments that like, so one, his policy, so similar to Jazz in that way, is like his policies again tinker around the edges as opposed to offering, I think, radical change. And then there's been two things that have happened that are, I think, for me, indicative. That like, though I might like him personally and think he's a nice guy, I think that like he is ultimately going to be the kind of politician I don't like. The first thing is that like a couple months ago, so like I follow him on Instagram, and a couple months ago he like posted, he was at some fundraiser. I don't know, actually I don't know if it was a fundraiser, and let me not put that on him. He was at some event, and Jacob Fry was there, and he like posted a video, and basically like he was big up in Jacob Fry, like, oh, that's my nigga, I fuck with him. And I was like, ooh. What you got going on over here? What's this? I don't like that. And then I think what was the nail in the coffin for me is after Charlie Kirk died that day, he posted a like, no matter what, this was a husband and a father, and like that kind of shit. Oh brother, get a load of this guy. And and like, so that showed that moment, and so like, yeah, it was the Charlie Kirk thing for me that was really like, oh, so okay, so we understand the world differently, right? Because you think that because something bad happened to someone, and something bad can happen to someone, and you can be like, yeah, something bad happened to you, and I'm sorry that happened to you. But to not acknowledge and say, like, here's the thing, the Charlie Kirk thing was such a fucking layup. It was such a layup, actually, because all you had to say was, prayers to Charlie Kirk's wife and children. What a horrible, the scourge of gun violence in America is brutal and horrible. And, I love an and Charlie Kirk lived his life advocating for violence and hate, and I will also be thinking about and praying for the people for whom his rhetoric harmed. Right? Like, and again, that's not a cohesive statement, but like, it's such a layup. Right? It's such a layup. You don't have to like act like just because this nigga died that he ascends to sainthood. That nigga, Charlie Kirk died literally, like, I mean this literally about to say some anti-black shit about gun violence. He literally died saying, including or not including gun violence. It was about to talk cash shit about black people. Right? This man was awful. An awful fucking hate monger. And so if your first reaction to people celebrating the death of a bitch like that, you and I we're not on the same page. We're not on the same page. We are not like no. And so I think so if I'm looking at Minneapolis Council Ward 11, I'm not voting for Jim Meyer, fucking crazy. Miriam DeMello, I'm not voting for you, girl. Um I don't know if I can vote for Jameson. I might have to leave this one blank. I might gotta leave it blank, and I think he'll still win. Like I don't think my vote will. Like I think like he has the DFL endorsement. Like he in he interned for Keith Ellis. So like how he came up in Minneapolis politics is like he interned for Keith Ellison. He like knows Emma Greenman, who's the House rep in our area. So like he like and when Emily Koski, is it Koski, when she decided not to run, he was basically called on the phone to be like, hey, you want to run for this? Like, so he's going to win, right? Like, I don't doubt that he's going to win. I don't know if I can be one of the reasons that he wins. And I think for me, it was the Charlie Kirk thing that I think that was it for me for that guy. Um, okay, so now so the further we move down this list, so again, that was like, again, I'm looking at the sample ballot, and moving through it. Someone asked me why I don't like Miriam. She, like, again, I have no idea who this woman is. I don't think she was like, so both of these challengers to Jameson, I don't think they actually vied for the DFL endorsement. I could be wrong, but I don't think that they did. And so I think both of them have like come up out of like nowhere, which like isn't a bad thing, but like nobody knows who this person is. Her website is weird. Like her name is, hold on, Miriam DeMello. It's DEMELLO. I looked at it a couple weeks ago and I was like, girl, what the fuck? It's one page. There's a sparse policy. Oh, there's a sparse policy platform. Oh, this is what it is. I forgot. Hold on. Let me read you her bio. She said, okay, with years of experience in public service, I'm committed to delivering practical solutions, etc., etc. I want to bring a moderate voice to city council, one that focuses on real solutions. I want to address why property taxes continue to rise, why the quality of city services decline, and to confront the problems that make us feel unsafe in our neighborhoods, etc. Someone else said, yeah, um, she like intentionally calls herself a moderate. Okay, girl. I don't know about that. So yeah, so I'm not voting for her. Yeah, like literally the main, like when you go to her website, the main highlight about her in bold says moderate Democrat focused on getting back to basics and common sense solutions. Girl. Girl. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. So I'm not voting for her. So I might have to leave the city council ward blank. Okay. I'm gonna skip over board of estimation and taxation for now, and I'm gonna do parks and rec. So if you don't live in Minneapolis, girl, let me how do I explain the park system in Minneapolis? More than anything, how do I explain what the parks mean in Minneapolis? Oh, hey, Portia's here. That's my literal cousin. Like, literally, like, her mama and my mama are sisters. That's my literal cousin. Okay. And now, give me one second. I'm just Googling really quickly, and then, I'm going to... Oh, I'm older than me. That is correct. That is literally correct. You're actually older than me. What the fuck am I doing? Okay, so the park system in Minneapolis. People who live in Minneapolis do not play about these parks. We do not play about these parks. It is so, like, and I would love for, like, other people in Minneapolis to also, like, talk about this. It's just, like, there's parks everywhere, and there's nature, and there's greenery, and, like, the city, like, has, like, done a really good job, and it's been a really intentional focus of the city to, like, make the parks what they are, right? And people utilize them like they are public spaces. Like when, like, it's starting to get cold now, so like there's less people in the parks, but like when it's spring and summer, parks full, right? And I mean like the big parks and like the like the Lake Nokomis, the the Betty Makaskas, the like the Minnehaha Falls, etc. But like also just like the neighborhood parks, like the parks are a big fucking deal, right? So like a park and recreation commissioner, what you talking about? Would you like ain't nobody gonna be like abolish the parks and no shit like that, but like I want to know what your vision is for these parks. This because this is what we got going on. Someone asked Round Rock, Texas, which I've actually been before, has great parks. Do y'all have trails? Tons of trails. I just looked it up this morning. 16% of Minneapolis is parks. I don't know if that's true, but I wouldn't doubt it. Right? Like there's parks fucking everywhere. So all that said, as I'm looking at these like park and recreations, um, candidates, I'm like, girl, what's your vision for what these parks are? So the first candidate is K Car. So I'm looking up. Uh, I'm specifically looking up. Well, no, do I want to do the at large, or do I want to do? I'm gonna do at large. So there are how many candidates? Girl, everybody named Mama running for this off of shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's 8 motherfuckers running for this. Okay, and I gotta look up all 8. Okay, if y'all have any, if anybody has any like not tea, but like information about any of these candidates, I would like love that. So um, there's Adam Schneider, Tom Olson, Avery M. Turner, Amber A. Frederick, Matthew Dalguillo, Mary McKelvey, Michael Wilson, and Meg Forney. Someone's saying Tom Olson is incumbent at large. Okay, and he's great. Okay. Hurst and Rick. Hold on. I feel like so the Sahan Journal, they have like a really cool like interactive feature for like if you for like they're basically like, oh, what do you think, and like who's your like what policies do you like align with, and then it like spits out, it's like, oh, here's some good people from mayor and like how they think about this. But I know they probably ain't got nothing similar for the parking board commissioner, so I'm gonna have to go through all these, but I might not do all this tonight because bitch, that's a lot of work. Okay, so I'm on Adam, so I'm just gonna go top from bottom. So we got Adam Schneider. So his priorities at a glance are community driven governance. He is he says that the Minneapolis Park Board has made some massive mistakes in recent years that not only ignored the wishes of residents, but actively hurt them. Okay, what are we talking about? We need leadership in the park board that is rooted in our community and works for all of us. Also focused on climate change and then environmental stewardship. Okay, so that's, I would love for not a white person to, I mean, I'm always rooting for everybody like black and brown, so like that's always my priority. But in particular, like because like somebody said earlier, like Minneapolis is 16% parks, but like how many of those parks are on the north side? Like, 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 and that's a real last question. Like, how many of those parks are on the north side? Like, I know, like Weber, is over there, um, but like, what else? Like, I feel like they were trying to put, what was that plan? They had to put something over there, but like it was, I remember it was like problematic because it like, what was it? It was like gonna be like in the middle of the like of the north side. I can't remember what it was, and clearly I'm like not um coming back to it. But hold on. So Adam Schneider, again, I'm just like looking through his policy platforms. He seems like normal. He's talking about like creating some like more greenway space, expanding solar power, advocating for park board workers. Okay, fair. We got Tom Olson, who's the incumbent. How long has Tom Olson been on the park board? Okay, it's another white man. I've never seen this man before in my life, which is weird. Okay, his issue. What's your issues this, Tom? This is a bad website you got going on, Tom. I don't like this. He just says my commitment. Okay. I and then my issues. Okay, here we go. Okay, I found it now. That was a weird route I had to take to get there. Okay, so he wants to improve safety and make room. Okay, so actually, let me start at the top line takeaway. So he has like a few different policy positions. So one, he's focused on transforming our parks. So opening up our parkways to prioritize pedestrians during the onset of the pandemic revealed the true value of the spaces surrounding our wonderful parks. As commissioner, I supported and fought for efforts that would transform our parkways into pedestrian-oriented community spaces in a targeted and thoughtful approach. Talking about barrier installations, adapting the park for a new generation of users by imagining re-existing spaces, ensuring spaces for youth. Well, okay, now hold on, we're getting at the truth, because he says he got a part that's fighting for equity, and he says, many of our parks continue to bear the names and statues of our racist past. I will continue to work to return these areas to their original names or rename them in a way that honors traditions the local community wishes to uphold. Okay, so he's talking about an innovative program for young adults of color, investing in anti-racism work, climate justice. Okay. Well, look. Okay. Well, hold on now, Tom. Now, hold on now, Tom. I like what you're talking now. He's talking about reforming open liquor policy. Okay, interesting. Okay, so I didn't know. I mean, I didn't know this was a problem. I don't drink, so why would I? But like, apparently, like changing open liquor laws to like, he says, as your commissioner, I moved to increase the number of events run by the park board and on parkland where open liquor is allowed, even working to win a legislative victory related to the issue. Like, okay, I like that. Okay, all right, Tom. All right. So someone says Tom has been on the progressive side of the board and has been outvoted a lot. Okay. Someone asked anything about the police. No, and that was actually a point that I was interested in, because again, if you're not in Minneapolis, sometimes like, so the park board has its own police force, which like, why? Why? Right, like, and so like, particularly like when unhoused folks will be camping in parks, the park board will like evict people or like arrest folks. But so like, I do not see I've not seen anything here on Tom's website talking about interacting with the park police. So interesting. Okay, Avery Turner. What you got going on, Avery Turner? Black. Okay, hold on. What I got going on? Okay, Avery Turner. She is an educator, community leader, and advocate for equity who's dedicated to career opportunities. She's running for a park board at large because our parks are more than green spaces. They are gathering places, classrooms, and an essential part of our neighborhoods. I believe every resident deserves equitable access to our city's parks, trails, green spaces, and water resources, no matter where they live or who they are. My campaign is guided by a simple vision: parks for all, paths for all, seasons for all. That means advancing equity and cultural representation in programming, creating career pipelines for youth, partnering with community organizations and small businesses, preparing a recreation system for all seasons. Okay, hold on. Now I'm gonna go to her. Now Avery, hold on. Savannah, slow down, because now I'm on your website, and what I've now gotten, there's nowhere for me to get more information on your policy platform. And that is always a huge fucking deal for me, because like, I read, and I want to read the things you have to say. And so then, yes, she has a website, and like, she has like a block of text here on the page, but then there's no, like, the page I'm always looking for when I go to a candidate's website is like platform or issues. Like, I want to go deeper into the second level. Like, I want to, okay, great, give me your top line takeaways, and then let's dig into the specific policy platform here. Avery ain't got one. Now, Avery, why you doing me like this, girl? Why you doing me like this? You couldn't. Okay. Okay. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. Amber Frederick. What you got going on, Amber? Amber A. Frederick. A white lady. I'm gonna just go right up to her vision page. Okay. This is this is kind of bad, but that's all right. Okay, we're gonna still read it. Okay, so Amber wants to help young women and girls grow strong. So, growing up, I was lucky enough to find mentors in parks, art, and recreation program that helped me grow into the woman I am today. Not every young girl is lucky. Data shows that girls and young women are often excluded from nature-based centers and parks, while at the same time, rec and competitive sports often struggle to find female-identifying coaches. I want to build a park system that gives girls, young women, and all youth places to come together, feel welcomed and loved. Okay. Y'all know white women love to feel like victims. They got like, and that's not to say, okay, and don't cancel me. That's not to say that, like, obviously there's systemic inequality that women face, but white women will be like, I'm a woman, and then make their whole like, they need to be marginalized in some way. So, all right, girl, but even still, you don't say specifically how you're going to tackle this problem. You say you want to do this. How are you going to do that? That's always the part for me with candidates where, like, where they lose me sometimes, because they be like, okay, I want to build a city that's great. Awesome. What is your specific plan about how you want to do that? Anyway, I'm going to keep reading. As a North Sider, she says, prioritize investment in parks that work for everyone. As a North Sider, I see a tale of two cities in our parks. I see a tale of two cities in our parks. Everyone deserves the same quality of parks enjoyed in areas like the chain of lakes in Minnehaha Falls. I'll responsibly manage our budget to invest in parks, programs, and park workers across the city, ensuring youth, families, and seniors and people with disabilities in all of Minneapolis have access to great parks and programs, not just some neighborhoods. And she has another place that says authentically engage new Minnesotan, immigrant, BIPOC, and Indigenous communities. The park board has too often stumbled in serving one of our most important communities. Some of our most important communities, excluding culturally specific sports teams in Indigenous neighborhoods and being boycotted by the NAACP isn't just bad for the park board, it's bad for Minneapolis. I'll be an active listener, building authentic relationships and working together to create policies that truly serve communities that are too often marginalized. Again, this is exactly what I was, sorry, I gotta readjust my seat. This is exactly what I was talking about earlier, right? Like Minneapolis has a ton of parks, but where those parks are located, is not on the north side, right? It's not where black and brown people can access them, right? Like, they are in white neighborhoods and enjoyed by white people, predominantly enjoyed by white people, right? And so, like, yep, correct. And also, I get back to this question of, like, she's not telling me how she wants to do anything. She's telling me what the things that she sees, which, like, yes, she's right. But I'm not seeing and then here's what I want to do about it. And I don't actually think, like as I'm sitting here, I'm like, damn, am I being too hard on them? I don't think I am. Like, I think I'm just like, if anybody told me, like, they was going to do something, I'm like, that was high level, I'm like, cool, how you going to do that? And so, like, I don't think it's too much to ask to say, like, hey, I cool, great. I love the vision that you're expressing. What's the next step? Oh, you don't have. Oh, I gotta learn. No, all right. So I wonder if anybody knows. Like, is it so? Tom Olson is the incumbent. Is anybody like who's his? Does anybody know, like, who his, like, challenger is? Like, all these people are his challenger. I mean, but, like, for example, like, these are all the niggas running for Minneapolis mayor. Not all these people are actually a challenge to Jacob Fry. So, like, yeah, I wonder who, like, actually. Okay, so now I'm at Matthew Dogwillow. If I'm fucking that man's name up, I'm sorry. Okay, damn, this thing got 4 kids. God damn, in this economy, you got 4 kids. Shit. Okay, what you want to do, Matthew? All these goddamn kids. 5011. Damn. Goddamn kids. Okay, this is a bad website. I don't like it. Okay, this is a bad website. First of all, it's an infinite scroll, and I fucking hate that. there's nothing more I like dislike than just infinite scroll websites. What I would do on the park board. Okay. So he says, what I'll do on the park board: advocate for clear, goal centric policies with data driven solutions. Our North Star should be attendance. I'm running to protect the legacy of our award winning parks. My campaign is rooted in democracy, built around listening, and committed to delivering what neighbors and park staff want. My computer. More access, more connection, less divisiveness, and more joy in every season. For our kids, because healthy habits. I don't. I don't like that. Healthy habits. That's just fat phobia. Because healthy habits, self confidence, and connections are formed through teams, outdoor free play, and community gardens. Plus, we love the park's childcare. Okay, so there's nothing on this website. Is basically nothing. So like, there's no specific plans. It's all like high level stuff. Yeah, nope. Um, Nope. No, thank you, babe. Okay, Mary McKelvey. This is a name that I feel like I've seen before. There's okay. There is a lawn sign. It says Mary for Parks, and it's like circular. Is this her? Is this the Circle Mary? I'm gonna hopefully maybe okay. So maybe I'm finding Circle Mary. That's her name now, Circle Mary. Okay. Mary McKelvey for Parks. This looked like this white lady is either really nice or she will call the police on you. I can't tell. Okay, she is running to be your next at large Minneapolis Park Board Commissioner. I'm a public school teacher, a coach, a mother, and a tireless advocate for our parks, whether it's getting kids outdoors, helping immigrants in our city, or serving in public committees to keep our parks in the keep our parks. Someone said Karen Energy, correct. Keep our parks and environment resilient. I've been there and will keep doing the work. Okay, hold on. Her and her husband, her and her husband, they look like they would invite you over for like the fucking the best glass of wine you've ever had in your life. Like, they got a real cute dog too. Yes, she is Circle Mary. She's Circle Mary for Parks. Okay, yes. Okay, that's why I know her. Okay, what's your vision? Again, I don't love this. Again, I don't love this vision. I don't love this vision. I feel like what I'm asking for is so simple. What I'm asking for is so simple. What is your policy platform, and what is your plan to tackle the thing? I just like, and again, I'm reading like, here under her vision, she has a space that says everyone belongs in our park, and our parks are third spaces. If something's happening in our parks, every family should know about it and feel welcome to join. Too many kids face barriers when they want to get outside and be active. Um, um, let's build a grassroots. Let's build a grassroots. Excuse me, intergenerational movement that brings more families into our parks community and expands quality programming for everyone who wants it. I want our parks to be the safe, quote, third spaces where people can enjoy the outdoors and community centers on their own terms too. Too many places to gather are private and segregated by age, class, ability, and race. I want to ensure that our parks and rec centers are places for all of us in our communities again. I love that. I think I agree with you, Mary. I also think our parks should be third spaces that are welcoming to people. Tell me how you want to do that, Mary. You don't. There's nothing here about how you want to do that. Because that's a thing you can want. I want that thing too. Like, I want that thing too. How are you going to do that? You've disappointed me, Circle Mary. You disappointed me. Michael Wilson. These people really got me feeling like I'm tripping, because I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't got no plan. Okay, this white man. Okay, I'm on Michael Wilson. I feel like I've seen him before. He looks familiar to me. Okay, look, he in a picture with Robin Walmsley and oh, I don't want to say the wrong one. Okay, I know. Okay, there's Aisha on the Minneapolis City Council. There's Aisha, and there's a Ren. And they don't look alike, but damn, them bitches do be kind of looking alike sometimes. I'm sorry, they do be kind of looking alike, and they know they be kind of looking alike. And so sometimes when I see one of them, I be like, no, it takes me a second. He's with Arin. I think it's like Arin. And so that bodes well. Okay. Issues. What you got going on, Michael? No, not a white. I just accidentally went to his Meet Michael. He a white man with a guitar. Oh no, brother. We didn't need to see that, but let me go to your issues. Okay. So he wants me to know that he is a democratic socialist. Great. That's actually probably why I know him. He's probably endorsed by what is it? Minneapolis for the Mini. There's Minneapolis for all, Minneapolis for the Mini. Y'all niggas need to get different names. Like y'all, the names are not distinct enough. And for the people who don't know, Minneapolis for the Mini and Minneapolis for all are like the two packs in the city. So Minneapolis is one of those cities where it's like Democrats be fighting each other. Like Republicans do not get elected in Minneapolis. Like that's just not, like somebody asked me earlier if Jacob Fry is a Republican or a Democrat. Like anybody in Minneapolis politics is a Democrat. Like you're not, there's not ever going to be not, I'm not going to say not ever, there are not serious Republican candidates in Minneapolis, so everybody's a Democrat, but it's like different flavors of Democrats. There's like the moderate Democrat, but even I wouldn't actually, I'm actually not even gonna call them people moderates, because like what moderate is in Minneapolis is like very fucking liberal in other places. So like there's a curve, like there's the like, I'm gonna call them moderates for lack of a better term, but there's like, but know that like they are actually very progressive, like comparatively. There's like, which is led by Jacob Fry, who's the mayor. And then there's like the like democratic socialist wing that's like Omar Fateh, Robin Wansley. And so like the two packs are Minneapolis for all and Minneapolis for the Mini. Minneapolis for the Mini is the more like progressive one. And Minneapolis for all is the more like moderate one. And so why I know, bring that all back, why I know Michael, what's his nigga name? Michael Wilson, is because I think he's endorsed by Minneapolis for the Mini, and I follow them. Anyway, so again, if I'm going to his policy platform, I want you all to guess. I haven't read through it, but I'm skimming it right now. Guess what my problem is with his policy platform. Just guess. Wild guess. It's not fucking detailed. It's not fucking detailed. Shit. And I understand. And I'm trying to, like, if I go back to Chris Olsen, it also a bit of Infinite Scroll. It's got a little bit of Infinite Scroll too. If I go back to Chris Olsen, he of course has an advantage because he is able to say, here is what I've done, right? So he's not talking, and like, I'm totally fine with that. Like, I'm not like, tell me what you've accomplished. Like, I actually don't need that. But like, I recognize that is it Tom Olsen? I call this thing, these white men, I can't get their names right. Shit. Tom Olsen, I recognize has an advantage in that way because he's able to talk specifically about what he has accomplished, right? So like, I do take that with a grain of salt, but like, so like that's not necessary for me. It's not necessary for you to say like I have accomplished X, Y, and Z. It is necessary for me though for you to be able to say, I plan to do this. I want to do this. I hope to do this, and here's how I'm going to do it, right? I don't think that's too much to ask. I really don't. And so again, as I'm reading through Michael's, he has a section titled Labor and Unions. So he says, our park system greatest assets is its workers. I believe people in Minneapolis want a park board that will support basic workers' rights, protect union labor in project labor agreements, and bargains with unions in good faith. From our neighborhood parks to national parks, we are seeing public sector unions standing up to protect valuable public assets. As a democratic socialist, I know that strong unions help our parks work for working people. And so this is actually a problem. Like, this is actually a, like, sentence structure issue, actually. Like, so one, he doesn't tell me how he's going to do this. But more than anything, like, in this part where he says, after seeing the impacts of the first ever park board worker strike in 2024, I believe people in Minneapolis want a park board that will support basic workers' rights, protect union labor in labor agreements, and bargain with unions in good faith. What you need there is a sentence after that saying, and I will do this, right? Even if you aren't going to tell me how you're going to do it, you need to, like, be explicit about that thing. Because if I just take that sentence, you're saying, I believe that after seeing this, I think that people in Minneapolis want this. Yeah, cool. Like, but that's not, and you're using that as a proxy to say that I will do that, but that's not actually the same thing, right? And so, whatever, like, yeah. So, again, I see ideas here that I think are strong and that I think are good. Um, but I'm a person who, like, I really thrive on, like high level detail, not high level details, I'm not gonna say that, but like abstract high level details that don't have a clear plan for implementation, I really struggle with, right? And, like, I don't know, and this is part of, like, why I probably have the job that I do. Like, I'm a very, like, what are we gonna do and how are we gonna do it and when? And don't say what is the date on which we're actually going to do that thing. And so when I see someone just talking in high level vagarity, is it vagarities? Is that the word? It, like, high level vagueness. What the fuck are you talking about? What does that mean? I'm already struggling there. So Michael again. What Michael is interesting to me because he is endorsed by the people in this city who I align with politically. And so he does have that going for him. I'm gonna star. I'm gonna give Michael, I'm literally going to put a little asterisk next to Michael's name. That's the best I can do for you, Michael. I'm gonna give you an asterisk. Okay, and then finally Meg Forney. This is also a name I feel like I've heard before. So Meg Forney for Minneapolis Parks. Damn, this bitch old as fuck. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. That was an inside thought. Okay, so let's start again. Um, damn, bitch. Okay, all right, we back. That's most people's first reaction to Meg. Also, I'm like, girl, you gonna be alive? Shit, you gonna be buried in one of these parks, bitch? Like, yo, I'm tripping. I need to stop. Okay, accomplishments. Wait, she is on the. Wait, she already is on the park board. I'm confused. On commissioner. Oh, so she's running. Okay, she is a commissioner and she is running for re-election. Okay, so then why is she running? If Meg and Tom are already both on the park board, why are they running for the same seat? Like, wouldn't they have different seats? I'm confused by this. But I'm still just digging into her shit right now. Okay, what has she done? I believe it's for all the seats. Okay, someone said all the seats. Okay. Right, I get that the seat is at large, but, like, I think what I'm saying is, like, why are they running for the same seat, though, if that makes sense? I might have to dig into this later, but because it's like, I'm gonna look at this later. Whatever. What has she done? So she's presided for 3 years over onboarding 7 new commissioners to our 9-member board. So, established the first ever co-chairing of board committees to accelerate the onboarding of new commissioners, activated 3 legacy initiatives with 3 commissioner work groups, accounted for fiscal challenges in the budget, management. Critical connections in underserved and underparked areas made along our above the falls Mississippi riverfront, our systems equity investments. Opened Graco Park to the first net zero building in the system. Enacted 3 board legacy initiative for strategic directions. Okay, this is a bunch of like, so she's giving, which like, I get, she is giving like, as she's talking about her accomplishments, she is, it is clear, it's now clear to me how she is the president, because like she is talking about like the like operations of the park board. Like she's not like, and I see how that's different from like the other candidates. I don't, so like she, because she is like clearly like in the operational realm of like how the park board works at like a higher level. I'm gonna, I feel conflicted about this. And let me, also does not say anything about cops. Not a single one of these people has said a thing about the park police. Not a single thing. Not even a hint toward the park police. So, which is interesting. And by interesting, I mean probably racist. So I would say, here's what I think about Meg. I really do think, and like I struggle with this sometimes, like with like the gerontocracy of it all, right? Because like it can be ageist, right? And I don't ever want to like discount someone and their lived experience, because that experience is important, right? And like that experience like helps us figure out what to do and what not to do, and like you have institutional knowledge, and I think that like is useful and important. And it's always and I think like it is totally okay to say like, you as a, how old is this woman? Meg, I might not be able to find it. Okay. What I'm seeing is from June 2021. She is listed as 73. So if that was 4 years ago, girl, she's 77. It's time to sit on down. It's time to sit on down. We've been here. We've had a great run. It was beautiful. It's time to sit on down. And I think that like that gets to be a totally fine thing for us to say, right? It's like, what is she? Is she silent? Is she a boomer? Well, I can't remember the order of it. But like, girl, you've had it. It's time. So I think then if I'm looking at this park seat, I'm talking about Meg Forney, who's the current president of the Minneapolis Park Board. If I'm looking at this, so again, I'm looking at a sample ballot. So we've got Adam Schneider, Tom Olson, Avery Turner, Amber Frederick, Matthew DeGuillo, Mary McKelvey, Michael Wilson, Meg Forney. If I had to choose, if I had to choose right now, like again, also still ranked choice, I would do Tom, Matthew. I'm gonna just throw Avery in because she black. And y'all gonna fight me if you want to, but I'm gonna throw Avery in the third because she black. Or damn, I can't choose no white. I can't choose no white men over no black. No, I might have to do Michael Avery, and I might have to do Mike. I might have to no. I'm sorry. I might have to do Tom, Avery, Michael, in that order. Yeah, that might be. So hold on. It's Tom one. But I'm also, but this is not my final decision. Like this is not my actual ballot. This is just a sample ballot. So I'm just like writing some notes. I just printed it out so I could like write some notes on it. So I'm gonna do Tom, Avery, and okay. And then I also, I'm hearing good things about Tom. So okay, so maybe we fuck with Tom. Okay. And then finally there's Park and Recreation Commissioner District 5. So this is obviously going to look really like, you know, this is dependent on like where you live in Minneapolis. Like apparently I'm in District 5. Does anybody know? I don't know who the incumbent is there right now. Carvajal. So the first person is K. Is it Carvajal Moran? Is K for Parks. Girl. Oh, girl. just a big ass wall of text. Girl, I don't want to read all this shit, but I'm going to. But shit, girl. Um, this a lot of reading, girl. All right, let me do it. I'm gonna. Will you say all your choices again? Okay, yes, I will. I will say my choices. Um, so I will start back up with Minneapolis mayor. So first, So my first. I don't. I don't need to hold this up. The first person I'm ranking, Omar Fateh, ranking him one. Second, Jazz Hampton. Third, Dwayne Davis. For City Council, Ward 11, which is where I live, so, like, I don't know, maybe you live somewhere different. I am going to abstain from voting for my City Council person. I skip Board of Estimate and Taxation right now because, bitch, that's some numbers I gotta read. I can't be reading that in front of people. I gotta read and do that privately. For Park and Recreation Commissioner at Large, I am ranking Tom Olson first. Tentatively, this is tentative. I'm ranking Tom Olson first, Avery Turner second, and Michael Wilson third. And right now, I'm about to go through Park and Recreation Commissioner District 5, which again, that's where I live, so can't say. It's going to be different for you if you don't live, like, near where I live. Someone asked how I decided on Davis at 3. Bitch, I can't remember what I said now at this point. But my basic point was, like, I think the difference for me between Jazz and... So I'm ranking Jazz second and Dwayne third. And I think what's the difference for me is that, like, Jazz's... campaign platform feels a bit more fleshed out than Dwayne's does. Dwayne is very, very high level, and Jazz is also high level, but a bit more specific. So that's the sort of difference between those two for me. Okay, I can tell I don't actually feel like doing this Park and Recreation Commissioner District 5, so I'm not going to. I'm going to do it another time. Cuz I'm kind of tired, bitch. And I don't really feel like doing that. So I'm just gonna look through here, answer some last minute questions, and share it with y'all for a couple more minutes, and then I probably need to, girl, go eat dinner, probably. Yeah. Hold on. I'm also gonna be talking. I said this when I started. I'm gonna be doing a quick interview with Omar Fateh this weekend, which I'm super excited about. So I will. I'm gonna record that this weekend and hopefully like have it done. Have it done and uploaded like by the end of the weekend. And then I'm doing a TikTok live with Jazz next Wednesday at 7:30. Wesley, you said John from 1 Minute Tours. Actually, let me get into that man's ass a little bit for a second. Hold on. And I didn't know his name. I never knew what his name was. I just knew he was the dude from 1 Minute Tours. So I like his content. Like, I think it's actually really interesting. Like, he posted such an interesting video breakdown of like the Skyway system a few weeks ago. And I thought it was like really, really cool and like I could tell he put a lot of work into it and it was like really thoughtful and I thought that was cool. But he did something recently that pissed me off. He interviewed that woman from The Fall of Minneapolis and like Alpha News or whatever. And I don't know her name and I don't need to. I'm not even gonna look it up because it's not even worth it. And like that shit, oh, that made my ass itch so bad because Liz Collins. It frustrated me so much because like, and this is this thing that like white folks do, right? They think it's like, they think if they just like talk to people and try to like understand them and get them to see what they're doing, right? That like they think that just like having a conversation with these people somehow like is just peak civility. I don't know, but it's just like, man, like, why? This woman doesn't care about Minneapolis. Like, and if, as a person who, like, John, the dude from 1 Minute Tours, like, who, like, says that he loves Minneapolis, like, makes, like, and I genuinely think that he does. Like, he really, like, makes really, really good content about this city, and I think it's really interesting. But to then platform this white woman who, like, is integral to spreading narratives about Minneapolis, about the people who live here, narratives that are rooted in racism, that are rooted in anti-immigrant bias, right? To then put her on your platform and act like that bitch has a point, like no, and it's a thing that white people do, right? It's that thing like but Malcolm said folks that platform problematic people for the sake of content are the worst, right? It's like people who talk to like um niggas like Charlie Kirk or like other folks like that, right? Like they're just like, well, if we can just have conversations and understand, I can get you that you won't. They're just racist. They're just let them be racist, right? Like why do you need to do this? Like I don't know. Like that just like and I even when I saw that video, I even commented. I'm like, what? Like okay, brother. Like you like this lady, like and I'm gonna be okay. This is off track a little bit, but like I fully believe and think we ought to be prepared for um 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 Trump deploying the National Guard troops here. Right? Because if he thinks Portland's on fire, if he thinks Chicago's on fire, whatever, what do you, of course, like, white people in fucking Bloomington be like, it's on fire, isn't it? Like, of course. They, they burned down a police station, and them white people are never gonna let us forget it, right? And so, you're right. He's been wanting to get us since 2020. 100%, he has. Right. So we are. I don't know if we're next on the list, but bitch, we're on the list. Whatever the list is, we're on it. And so then I think then the 1 minute tourist nigga then platforming that white woman is not like obviously like contributing to that, but like the narrative that she has spread about Minneapolis through the fall of Minneapolis and through the work she does through Alpha News is going to be integral to how Trump and the Republican Party is going to shape the narrative about deploying National Guard troops here. So, um, it's going to be integral to it. So then giving her a platform is then like platforming. Okay, hold on. I got a Ku Klux Klan member. I'm gonna block them. Why are you here? Hold on. Um. No, I don't know who Liz Collins' husband is. Who is it? Oh, don't tell me it's that one nigga. Oh, the police union nigga. Don't tell. If you tell me it's him, I'm. It's fucking Bob Kroll. No. Bruh, yeah. Fuck John Forever. She's married to Bob fucking Kroll. Bruh. Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. Cut the fucking cameras. When he said no, Bob fucking Kroll. Oh no, yeah. So you platforming this bitch and is like she is integral to shaping the narrative about what Minneapolis is, and um that is going to bring the National Guard here, right? And actively harm the immigrant communities who live here, right? Because you know where they're going. They're going to fucking Lake Street. They're going to Lake Street, and they're going to be down there terrorizing the folks who live down there. Fucking terrorizing. So, yeah, John, it's like that video I posted the other day, like yesterday or the day before on TikTok. It's like, this is why I don't be like white people and their political opinions. This is why I don't really be fucking with them, because I know at some point in time that allegiance to whiteness is gonna come out. It's coming. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it's coming. Bob fucking Kroll. Wow. I'm gonna be reflecting on that for the rest of the night. Okay. So, what am I'm about to leave because I'm tired and I don't want to do this anymore. So I'm gonna go get some dinner. I I'm gonna post this probably like on YouTube like later. So like I don't know if you want to look back and see the shit I was talking about, all these different candidates. And I'm super excited to talk to some of these mayoral folks next week. They could change my mind, right? I could like talk to Omar Fate and be like, wow, that nigga's not worth nothing. And like talk to Jazz and be really impressed. And I feel open to like whatever that might be. So like, yeah, I'm just excited. Like I just reached out to all of them. like I just reached out to both of them just like on a lark. I was just like, fuck it. The worst thing they could say is like, no, we're just not responding. They both got back to me. So, which is like really, really cool. So, yeah, so we'll see. Cool. Thanks for being here, guys. I'm leaving now. Bye.